you so much. You've just been a reliable and a fair partner since your confirmation. I really look forward to continuing to work with you on implementing bipartisan priorities that members of this committee on both sides of the aisle passed in just last Congress, like the Secure 2.0 and mental health parity and the PUMP Act, which helps make sure working moms have the simple right to a break and a place to pump at work. So thank you for the work you've done. Let me ask you, as a HELP committee chair, I led a group of senators commenting on the department's proposed rule regarding employee classification. And I've been extremely frustrated regarding all the hand-wringing from some of my colleagues who are misrepresenting this issue. DOL explicitly states in the proposed rule that the Fair Labor Standards Act does not have an ABC test like the test in California. DOL has been very clear. It does not have the authority, as you just stated, to implement an ABC test. That is something that only Congress can do. And everyone out there fear-mongering about an ABC test knows this. In fact, several of them have put out statements acknowledging that after the proposed rule was issued in the fall, on October 11th of last year, Lyft stated this about the independent contractor rule, and I quote, "Importantly, this rule, number one, does not reclassify Lyft drivers as employees, and two, does not enforce Lyft to change our business model. This approach previously applied to Lyft and app-based companies and did not result in reclassification of drivers." On December 14th of last year, the International Franchise Association submitted a statement saying, and I quote, "IFA applauds the proposal for its express recognition that the ABC test does not apply to the Fair Labor Standards Act, appropriately clarifying that the franchise relationship falls outside of its coverage." And Chairman Sanders, I'd like unanimous consent to introduce both the statement from Lyft and the statement from the International Franchise Association that I have here with me into the record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Acting Secretary Sue, do you agree with those statements that I just read from Lyft and from the IFA?
Thank you very much, Senator Murray. Lyft knows their business model. I would definitely confirm your point and what I said to the ranking member, that our rule does not include the ABC test. It cannot include the ABC test because only Congress can adopt that test. And our rule is meant to be in full compliance with the Fair Labor Standards Act and decades of federal law on the issue.
And is it true that DOL has already stated it does not have the authority under the FLSA to implement an ABC test absent an act of Congress?
That is correct, Senator.
Good. I think that's pretty straightforward, and I hope that clears it up for all of our colleagues who are here. Let me turn to something else. At the end of last year, I was able to work with the bipartisan and bicameral leadership of the three other pension committees to pass a huge bipartisan retirement package in Secure 2.0. DOL is going to oversee the implementation of a considerable number of the provisions, like establishing new emergency savings accounts, which I believe will help expand coverage, creating a retirement savings lost and found to make sure that workers have access to the money they saved at past employers, and many other priorities. If confirmed, will you commit to working with me and all of my colleagues across the aisle to ensure that the provisions of Secure 2.0 are implemented correctly and in a timely manner?
I absolutely will, Senator. And I so hastily answered the first question that I didn't also first say thank you for your leadership as chair of this committee when I came through as deputy secretary. And also you mentioned the PUMP Act. And as a mother who breastfed both of my children and had to pump at work, I wanted to thank you for that too. But yes, as to Secure 2.0, of course, we are going to implement it and look forward to working with you on it. The law does require the department to establish a lost and found program, as you mentioned, to make sure that people, Americans who have saved their entire lives for retirement, are able to access those benefits when they retire. Sometimes people change jobs and they lose track, or maybe they forget, and that's why a program like that is so important. The Department of Labor actually, under our Employee Benefit Security Administration, or EBSA, launched a similar program in 2017 that was really more of an individual case-by-case one. And through that work has recovered $6 billion of retiree benefits for retired Americans. And so Secure 2.0 is going to let us do that for all retirees. And we look forward to working with you to make sure that becomes real.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for all of your work as Deputy Secretary. Look forward to working with you in the new position. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator